in love and it was a blast. Then out had a heart of glass. Hey, he glassed me, man. He glassed me. Oh, glassed me, man. Anyway, this is, the Afterfight Afterthought for the Vitali Klitschko Derek Chisora fight. And if you haven't seen it, it's not really, it's not like you got to rush out and do it, but unless you wanted to see how Vitali was doing before he tore the ligament in his shoulder and after. I mean, basically, the bottom line is Vitali beat Chisora with one arm, and didn't complain about it or bitch about it or anything afterward. He just had to throw more right hands. He landed them solidly. He looked gassed toward the end of the fight, but I defy any of you to fight with one arm and see how you do at the end. Chisora landed a lot of shots that he normally wouldn't have. He was able to close the gap, which he wouldn't have done had Vitali been able to keep him off with the jab. So we've seen all that, and when it's all said and done, Chisora shouldn't have had the fight. Shouldn't have been fighting the fight. Going into that fight, with Vitali, you're kind of wondering if he still had it in him. Would he still be able to do it? He's 40 years old, 41, and how is that going to play out? And over on Chisora, he's 28. He's lost his last two fights. Granted, you had the Helenius debacle, but he did get beat soundly by Fury. So when you looked at that, you're like, here's a guy that doesn't really deserve a title shot against a guy that, who shouldn't be giving him the shot. He's fighting an unworthy challenger, but then again, it's like, who is left out there? First you thought David Haye, but then after what Vladimir did to him, was kind of gone. So you had the fight. They did the fight. That was it. You have a torn ligament in your shoulder. You kind of can't jab anymore. And he dominated that fight fairly well, and I had him like a 118, 111 kind of deal, 118, 110, So, where do they go from here? Obviously, Vitali, he's 40 years old. You don't know how well. He's not going to heal like he did at 30. Just saying. So, and it's that shoulder that he had tore previous when he was fighting Bird, and he lost that fight, or he had to lose on his stool. So, when you start seeing those kind of things adding up, you have to wonder, is this it? Will we see him fight again? Now, they said he's not going to need surgery on the shoulder, so that's always good. They can rehab it. But, ligaments are there for a reason. They kind of hold stuff together. You tear a couple ligaments in your knee and decide you're just going to do what you normally do. Look at what happened to Yuri Foreman. He should have had like a freaky brace on his knee. But he did, and he wound up tearing it even worse. So, you kind of need your ligaments to hold bones together. Tendons hold muscle to bone. Ligaments hold bone to bone. Just throwing that out there, a little science, a little biology, all that stuff. We're here to learn. That's what I try. Anyway, and then when you go over to Chisora, he glossed me, man. He glossed me. Frickin' glossed me, man. It's coming. He frickin' glossed me. Anyway, when you start looking at Chisora, dude's a total mental case, bro. Number one, you have to wonder, is he going to be spending time in jail? What was that, Eduardo? Probably. I know. You just can't walk up to people and try to start fights with everybody. Your rumor has it, he's smacked his girl a couple times. I don't know. That's rumor. So I don't want to get out there and put out the bad stuff, but apparently this is a guy that can't control his temper. And he's going out there and he's wanting to fight everybody under the sun. I mean, he's smacking Vitali upside his face. He's spitting in Vladimir's face, hoping he gets a shot at some more money. And then he's getting into it with David Haye because he knows that's going to be a great payday in England. It wouldn't sell for crap in the States, but in England, that should be a pretty good fight. I would watch it, but I'm not your average boxing fan. So when you start looking at it, where does Chisora go from here? Personally, I would like to see him, maybe go up against the David Price, or maybe that rematch with Helenius when Helenius is healthy after his shoulder surgery. So, but ultimately, he's got to get his, anger management classes would be nice, domestic violence classes, go in there and, state their name, not my girlfriend or my friend or this other fighter. Actually state their name, give them a name, and go from there. Sounds like I might have taken those classes myself at one point in time. I don't know, maybe, but so let me know what you guys thought about this fight. I mean, it's off the chain. Chisora's lost it. He's fallen off the deep end. If you look at him wrong, he's like that dude in the club. What you say, man? The dude's mute, man. He can't say anything. I know he said something to me. What'd you say about my mom? That kind of thing. He glassed me, man. Freaking glassed me. I'm sorry. And hearing, you wanker! Hearing the English when you guys curse each other out, it's awesome, man. It's priceless, man. It's great when you guys are going at, you fucking bum, you guys are going at it and stuff. It's classic stuff. Anyway, please comment, rate, subscribe. Tell me what you think about this guy. Think about what's going on, alright? This is Bigragu and Eduardo. And sorry, this Afterfight Afterthought kind of sucked. But so did the fight, because it really, yeah. You'll have that. My apologies. No.